Welcome to the RotoWire Fantasy Soccer Show. It's a showdown today. Fulham, Tottenham, Monday night. I woke up this morning and I kind of forgot there's Monday Night Football. So here we are, and now I'm talking about the slate. Fulham, Tottenham. It's the last one of game week 21. We got Fulham at home as an underdog. They were in this position 2 weeks ago, 1.5 weeks ago against Chelsea. About 30% chance to win, 17% chance clean sheet. Tottenham are 45% chance to win, 25% clean sheet. We got goals are expected. Tottenham 1.68 implied, Fulham 1.39. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. Haven't really put together a lineup myself, so we're going to do this together. But before we get there, rotowire.com/soccer trial, free 2-day trial. You can use these cheat sheets. There's not a ton going on for the next few days. We got Cup action. We got FA Cup this weekend, but there is Bundesliga. We will get some Bundesliga cheat sheets up depending on what DraftKings actually gives us for midweek Bundesliga. As you can see here today, we got Serie A. We got an interleague slate. I think this game is actually on the interleague slate. Yeah, we got Serie A, we got La Liga, and then this Fulham Tottenham match here. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. I have not looked at the interleague slate yet, but 10K to first for this showdown. So that's what I'm going to do with. Look at the lineups. I don't think Fulham are going to change much. They haven't played in, about a week, the 15th. So they got a decent bit of rest. I don't think there's going to be many changes. They got a pretty set starting 11. I guess outside of Issa Diop and Tosin at center back, but that's not really a big deal for us. For DFS, Tottenham, we'll see what they look like. They just played at Manchester City, and how fit are these guys? How fit is Bentancur, who started, and I believe he went 90 in that game against, went 75 against Manchester City. He's coming off an injury, so we'll see where he's at with his injury a few days later. Is he ready to start again? I think that has a pretty big role in this match. Because of how important Bentancur is, I think he starts. That's kind of what I'm going with. Center backs, the same. I think the biggest question for Tottenham will be Will Perisic, Doherty, Emerson, who starts? Sessegnon, who starts on the wing for them? Perisic took some sets from Son last game. With Perisic in there, that kind of takes away some value from Son, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on. So the wing backs will be important for the lineup, as will Bentancur. And then there's a slight chance we can get Richarlison in the starting 11. I'm not sure. It'd be crazy to see Son getting benched for Richarlison on a short week. It's possible, maybe not probable, but just something to look out for. Maybe we get Richarlison starting for Tottenham. He's been back for, I think, at least a week now. He's played off the bench a couple times. So something to keep an eye on. No surprises here in the odds. Harry Kane, best odds to score. Mitrovic slightly behind that. And then everyone else. As we can see in these prices, we have a lot of questions. If you're playing cash games, it's going to be difficult, I think, to put together a straightforward cash lineup because we have the situation in addition to Son and Perisic on set pieces, in addition to Son just not really being as consistent as he used to be. So we have that situation in here, and then we also have Pereira and Willian here. But as we can see on the cheat sheet, Willian actually hasn't taken a free kick in the last 3 matches, so maybe we don't have to worry about that one. So playing at home, I think that Pereira is a good shout here. I don't know if I want to say shout, but good captain. Pereira in the captain spot, and you just know what you're getting from him. Son, you don't know what you're getting from him. You don't really know what you're getting from, I don't know, almost anyone else on the slate. Pereira, pretty much no matter the matchup, outside of maybe against Manchester City and Arsenal, Pereira is pretty good. I mean, we can see he's got the back-to-back yellow cards, which is kind of dragging down his value. Let me just look at this. He's not suspended, is he? He has 5 yellow cards. It's the second half of the season. When did he get that second yellow card? Let me just double check here that Andreas Pereira is not suspended here. And there was no mistakes made. No, he is not suspended because the fifth yellow card he got in the 19th league match. Okay, we're good. I think that's the case. All right, sorry about that. Um, I don't believe he's suspended. Oh, he's playing with these. All right, yeah, it was their 19th match, so he's not suspended. The fifth yellow card rule is only for the first 18 matches. All right, we got that. We got that figured out. All right, so I didn't want to talk an entire show with about Pereira and then have him be suspended. But no, we're good. So if we do Pereira, and he's still pretty expensive. The problem with so we got the Sun question in here. If you watch my show when Tottenham played Manchester City, I like Kulishevsky a lot more than Son. He was, I think, 1,800 cheaper than Son. I was all over that. Kulishevsky got the goal, back me up. Son, 2 points. He was more popular than Kulishevsky. Guess what happened? Son is 9,400. Kulishevsky is 9K. There's really no price difference now. So we have that to deal with. And then we have that high shot volume forwards with Mitrovic and Kane. But do you want to spend on them when you have all these other guys to look at? So we got Son, we got Kulishevsky, we got Willian. Without set pieces, maybe Willian's not even in this conversation anymore. We got Perisic. Uh, he didn't start. Was that against Arsenal? He didn't start, and then against Manchester City, 69 minutes. So maybe Perisic is kind of not one of Conte's favorites at this point. Maybe he's trying to think that he wants more defensive wing back in there because Tottenham have been allowing so many goals. And then we get down to what if Richarlison starts, and then you got the goalkeepers, and then you got the fullbacks, the midfielders. So there's a lot of things you can do here. It's just not set in stone in cash games, unfortunately, because you got to think that people at least look at Kane and Mitrovic in cash games. And because Son is Son, I think that Son will be pretty popular. He'll be over 50%. So we'll get Son in there. We got Andreas captain with Son. And what other do we want another expensive guy in here? We got 6.7K remaining on average for the final four spots. Probably this is not a goalkeeper spot, though. As we know, Cermak will probably play both, and then it's going to be a scoreless draw, and Cermak's just going to top the leaderboard, kind of a thing. So, who do we want in this mid range? I guess we can go here. Bettenker, how healthy is he? Is he going to be ready for 90? He's 6,400. If Doherty starts, yes, he's another sub risk. Kenny Tete's at 6,600. Do you want him in this spot as an underdog? That's tough. Højbjerg is in this spot as well. And I mean, Højbjerg's had a pretty decent floor if you take away that Manchester City result. We go down. If Sessegnon starts, Sessegnon, however you want to call him, the numbers just aren't there. He's also a sub risk. Emerson, I guess all these guys are sub risk. They're going in and out for each other. Bobby, De Cordova-Reid, not really a cash play. Do we want Anthony Robbins here? 4,600. He's fairly cheaper than Tete. Not the worst idea. I think Tete will. I'm sorry. Robinson will allow you to spend up a little more. Paulinho is one of those midfielders who seems to get there in most matchups, though. There are times when he commits a lot of fouls, and that kind of takes away everything. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Harrison Reed, probably not. And then it's center backs. So it's not. So we can go a lot of ways. Who else do we want? I already said we probably don't want Willian. Do we want Perisic if he starts? Do we want Kulishevsky if he starts? Do we want Kane or Mitrovic? Unfortunately, this is really difficult, and it just depends on how you think of this matchup. So, looking at this matchup, I kind of went through Fulham. I kind of went through both these teams recently, but for Fulham, I mean, they've been good when they have a 100% roster, when they have a full roster, when they have all their guys healthy, no one suspended. Tete's healthy. Bobby DeCordova-Reid is not playing right back. They've been good in those times. And I mean, you can see the results since the World Cup break. Got a benefit from Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace got a red card in that match. So, they kind of were aided in that. And then home against Southampton, home against Chelsea, another red card with Felix there. They let that one against Newcastle slip away with that Mitrovic PK. So pretty good overall. I mean, you look at these results from Fulham, but the problem is that these results are a little all over the place. Their defense can be good at times, but they will be in high scoring matches. Whereas Tottenham, their defense has been bad for a long time. I think Lloris is done. 36 years old. I can't remember the last time I watched Lloris play, and he looked good. I guess maybe that's harsh to say, but it's kind of where we're at with him. We can look at what they've done. They had the 4-0 win against Crystal Palace. Probably should have allowed a goal in the first half there, but they're allowing goals. They're allowing a ton of goals. Do we think that they can get a clean sheet here against Mitrovic on the road under the lights? I'm just kind of thinking goals. Is there going to be a clean sheet? Maybe. So if they were thinking goals, the problem is we can't get both Mitrovic. We can't get Mitrovic, Kane, Andreas, and Son in the lineup. So how do we actually want to play this? Maybe we just go to Kane because he's a little cheaper and Tottenham are favorites. Kane will probably be more popular than Mitrovic. I'm not sure either of those guys really stands out. If we wanted that expensive guy, let's see what we can do with Robinson in this team. And I mean, we're still in the 6K range. I mean, do we want to throw in a center back? Probably not. Maybe we can just do Paulinho here, and then we can get Perisic with this lineup. So it's not the prettiest thing. It's a very difficult cash slate to play here because we got the somewhat iffy set piece situation for Tottenham, and then we just have the high volume shooters that are expensive. So, and then Kulusevski's up in price as well, so that does not help. I guess for Charleston starts, maybe that'll open some things up. But I mean, there's a few ways to go. I'd say start with your captain. Maybe instead of going Andreas captain, maybe we just go down to someone else. Did you feel comfortable with Tete captain? Maybe. I mean, that will push you up to the Kulusevski Willian range for one of your spots. So maybe mix and match with your captain. If you don't want one of the set piece takers, if you don't want Andreas as your captain, maybe you can go down to Tete, maybe even down to Robinson as your captain. Hopefully he gets to the 5 to 6 to 8 point range. Hopefully he's there, and there's enough attacking in this match then that allows you to get a little bit of everything really. Let me just really quickly plug in Robinson here and see what that allows us to do. Yeah, I mean, in that situation, maybe you're leaning more on Mitrovic as well. Yeah, I mean, still, it seems like you're gonna need. I guess you can also have Tete. So I mean, with Robinson, you can get Son, you can get Kane / Mitro, you can get Andreas, you can get Tete, and then you still got a spot for Perisic there. So you can get pretty much all these guys. You don't need a central midfielder. You don't need a punt. You don't need one of these Tottenham wingbacks who may only go 45 minutes, kind of a thing. Outside of Perisic here, but so Robinson captain allows you to get a little bit of everything, whereas Andreas captain, you're kind of in a range where you need like the Paulinho range there. So depends what you want to do there. Depends what you think about Fulham. Depends what you think about guys like Paulinho or a center back, or even DeCordova-Reid. I mean, DeCordova-Reid's been getting subbed off as well, and he already doesn't have much of a floor, so it's pretty hard to use him. So there you go. That's where cash is at. There's just a lot of ways to go. Maybe the longest showdown cast conversation I've had with myself ever, but there's just a lot of ways to go here. So let's get into tournaments. And I was saying, I think Fulham are going to get a point off of this game. The problem is this going to be is this going to be a 2-2 kind of match? Is this going to be, can one of these teams actually get a clean sheet? I think a clean sheet is in range. I don't think that's impossible. I mean, I think both sides can get a clean sheet. It's just that neither one. I mean, just in terms of Tottenham, it's just they just really haven't been able to show that. I know they have the win against Crystal Palace, but they allowed so many opportunities. And Fulham have been really just a better finishing team than Crystal Palace this season. Just to look at, comparisons here, but I mean, for the most part, Fulham are scoring in their home matches, and especially when Mitrovic is healthy, and they've been really good. And I can't emphasize this enough, but this is under the lights, and at Craven Cottage under the lights, I think that's another boost that we're not really seeing in the odds here. I think the odds are correct if this was, a Saturday morning match. Um, I think the odds would be correct in that situation, but I just think the under the lights, Craven Cottage adds something else. Let's just look real quickly to see. If you didn't know, we have the tables. We have tables at RotoWire. You can see all of uh, the standings here, even of the championship. But we can even get form here, last six. But in case you didn't know, this was a thing. So we got Fulham at home. 5 wins, 3 draws, only 2 losses all season. 18 goals scored, 15 against. Surprisingly, they actually haven't been that bad at home or away from home. So, I mean, that's something there. Uh, Tottenham, 4 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Okay. Maybe it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was, but we'll see what happens at Craven Cottage. I still think that's one of the tougher places to play. So, all right, how are we going to win here? So if we get multiple goals, you got to think that the goals will be that Mitrovic and Kane will be involved pretty much no matter what. So, well, I mean, we could start with one of those guys, captain. Let's just start with Mitrovic, captain, because I don't think he's going to be as popular as some of these Tottenham guys. Because a lot of people just look at Tottenham, will look at Kane, and they'll plug him in. So let's try to see what a Mitro captain actually looks like an Anthony Robinson as a cheaper guy who could assist to him. So that's in range. If you want, maybe get the early Fulham goals, and then you're banking on set pieces. So you get Son in this situation. You get Son / Kulu in the situation. Maybe you get Perisic in this situation as well. I will say if Richarlison doesn't start, I think it is an option to plug him in. If you are the person who plays bench players, Richarlison I think is an option in this situation because a short week for him, and I think there's a chance he goes at least 30 minutes. So something to keep an eye on. But yeah, Mitro captain. I mean, maybe if this is just a back and forth match, maybe you just get Kane in this spot, and then you just say whatever. Let's just use one of these center backs to complete this lineup, kind of thing. So we can do whatever you want here. I'm not sure if anyone stands out. Diop, Ream. Let's get the American in here. Tosun, same price. So I mean, you could do both if you just go in with goals and looking at these teams, Kane, Mitro, most likely to make the score sheet, captain one of those guys. Let's say you get a brace from Mitro. Let's say you get a goal and assist from Kane, and then you still have Son in this in case Mitrovic gets the first goals, and then Tottenham are pushing, kind of a thing. You get all the set pieces, Perisic as well, and then maybe you get a random Tim Ream assist or something or goal or something like that. But I mean, really, Ream is just in here, so you can get the captain brace. You can get Kane with a goal / assist. The only problem with this lineup is it doesn't have like a guy like Pereira who is the set piece guy. So that is one of the downsides. Granted, you could replace Son with Pereira, and it still make some sense. You're just kind of you're hoping that I guess all the set pieces don't happen. Maybe in this situation, Kane gets the first goal, and then you get Pereira pushing on the return, kind of thing, something like that. But I mean, you could do this. You can do this the other way. Captain Kane, and then focus on some of the Tottenham attackers, maybe their wing backs as well, maybe even captain a wing back. Maybe even captain Perisic will be a little more popular than everyone else. But I mean, well, there was a couple matches ago where Emerson scored against Manchester City. I guess it was one match ago. I mean, that stuff can happen. Højbjerg, he can score. Bentancur can score. Those guys can score. Really, really, I think anyone on this slate, maybe outside of the center backs, pretty much all these guys are in play to captain. I'm just starting with Mitro and Kane because they're most likely to score. And if you're thinking goals in this spot, a brace seems like a good spot here. It wouldn't be surprising if either one of those forwards got hit 30 points if there's 4 or 5 goals in this match. So if that's what you're doing, I don't hate the captaining of one of these big names. Of course, that you still got to be a little different to actually, win something. But the other route is to, bank on a goal from a midfielder, bank on a goal from Bobby De Reed, something like that. Even Willian. Willian won't be popular as a captain. People look at his game logs, hasn't really been there of late. So, I mean, really, captain any of these guys and hope for the best. Obviously, if you don't get a goal or assist from your captain and there's a bunch of goals, then you're probably not going to win unless your other 5 flex spots are all smashes. So there's that. What else do we want to do? I already did a Robinson captain, kind of same idea with Tete. Let's get into the goalkeeper. I'll finish with the goalkeeper captain, see what we can do. Man, I just can't do Uri's. I can't do it. Man. All right, well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. He will be more popular than Leno, I assume, but I'm not sure what the public view is on Uri's. So I know Tottenham fans. I know just fans of the sport. They're all pretty down on Uri's as I am. But let's see what we can do. All right, Uri's, you're gonna want Kane. You're gonna want the Kane goal. And what do you want? Kulusevski. Maybe you even fade Son in this spot, and hope that he doesn't make the score sheet. He's going to be popular. Son's always popular. He's going to be 50 something percent. He's going to be up there. So you do that. You get Andreas for set pieces. You get one of the wing backs. Like Perisic isn't even a must in this because he's midfield only. So you're not getting the clean sheet. You're getting just plug in Højbjerg and then plug in. I mean, this is actually not too difficult. Uri's captain. I mean, in the spot, you're looking at a 1-0, 2-0 out for Tottenham. You get the winning clean sheet. You got the Pereira for set pieces in case Fulham are pushing the second half, and then you get the goal/assist from Kane. Kulusevski, you're fading Son. Hopefully, he doesn't show up on the score sheet. Maybe you're also getting the clean sheet possibility with Segnan, Royale, with Doherty, whoever. In addition to possible assists and then possible whatever with Højbjerg or Bentancur, whoever in the midfield. So, I mean, pretty standard right here. I mean, you could replace any of these guys for a Fulham piece, and hopefully you get all those shots on target or something to Uri's. Something like that. Not too difficult. I mean, Uri's isn't that cheap, but you could still do a lot of things here with it because we have the Bentancurs and the Højbjergs who aren't the worst options, aren't complete punts or anything in the midfield spot. They're not your usual midfielders who don't do anything. I mean, this is mainly because these Tottenham matches are up and down, and there's goals. And Tottenham have been losing in many matches, and that allows guys, those midfielders, to get up the field more than they usually would. So, just something to keep an eye on. Or keep in mind, I guess I should say. Burn Leno here. 8,400 caps, and it's not that cheap, but okay. All right, so we're going to want Mitrovic. I mean, this is a 1-0, 2-0 build, so we're going to want the Son. Whereas you could probably fade Son with Uri's. I'm not sure you could fade Son with Leno because you're going to want the Tottenham set pieces. The way you win with Leno is the winning clean sheet. And then I mean, I guess Fulham scoring the final minutes, and then you're not getting a ton of set pieces from Son kind of a thing, but that's not usually the best method to win. We can double up, get all the Tottenham set pieces, Son, Perisic, get Mitrovic. Let's see if we can also get Pereira in this. This is a pretty good lineup here. I'm gonna play this lineup. So should I tell you what exactly it is? Okay, we got Leno, we got Mitrovic, we got Andreas, and then you got Robinson here for the clean sheet / assist possibility with Mitro. We don't have Tete here, but we also got Son and Perisic. If Perisic doesn't start, maybe it changes a few things, but I mean, build itself, right? It builds itself. Leno captain, Mitro, Andreas, Robinson, and then we got Son and Perisic. Technically, I mean, I guess you go Kane over Son, if Son's going to split set pieces. So that is something there. I mean, we've seen plenty of times Kane gets 3 or 4 shots on goal, doesn't score. Actually happened against Arsenal. Kane had 12.5 floor. That what match was at home, but Kane will get a shot on target. Maybe he'll get 2, maybe he'll get 3. So the floor will be there. The problem is that both those guys are going to be popular, so I'm not sure you're actually gaining anything when you go with either one of those guys. But I like that lineup a bit. I will play a Leno captain and hope that Tottenham don't get one. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm actually going to bet this match. I already got Fulham in a parlay on a double chance. So I'm not sure if I'm going to actually move to Fulham money line. Probably not going to double up on them with that. So we'll see. I'm leaning towards there being goals in this match. Leaning towards that just because of how Tottenham have looked and how they've been playing. And just that Fulham seem to score in all their home matches. So let's do it. Let's get I'll take a 2-0 Fulham win. Actually, I mean, you can still probably win some money if it's 2-1 in that situation and you have Kane instead of Son, because, I mean, all these guys still have pretty good floors. And if you get some saves and a win with Leno, like, you still might be over 10 points with them. So, I mean, that's still a winning lineup possibility if it's 2-1 because you're getting goals, you're getting assists. So, I mean, maybe they don't even need a clean sheet here, but obviously you want a clean sheet to maximize Leno. But just saying, you could still win some money even if both teams score. But that's all I got. Didn't plan on doing this show this morning, and here we are, 30 minutes later. Rotowire.com/soccer trial, free 2-day trial. I didn't mention at the top, rotowire.com/chat to get into our Discord once you're subscribed. What are we talking about? As I said, we got Bundesliga, we got Interleague, we got some stuff. There will be FA Cup contests, but I mean, as we saw this past weekend, the soccer contests during NFL playoffs just are not there. I think it was Sunday where there wasn't even any double ups for the 2-gamer. Whatever. DraftKings just does not care about soccer. We'll keep doing these shows as long as the contests are there, but maybe once the NFL is over, maybe there'll be an increase. Doubtful that there be an increase in contests, but I mean, we're about halfway full on the showdown of the week for this one. So I mean, I assume this is going to fill up. We're 4 hours out, but thanks for watching this. Maybe we'll be back later in the week. I don't know. Maybe we'll have some betting stuff for FA Cup. I doubt we're gonna be doing a show for any of these FA Cup DFS contests at DraftKings. As I said, probably gonna be small. So probably see everyone a week from now. But again, check us out in the Discord. We'll be around to chat whatever else is going on. Thanks for watching. You can find me at Zdroik on Twitter. Also at RotoWire Soccer on Twitter. Check that out. That has everything. Thanks for watching. Good luck on the slate. Good luck on the upcoming week. Hey, happy Monday.